Hi. I don't want to jinx it, but let's see how long this live stream lasts before my kids bust in. But I crave to go live now that my husband's here a lot and watching the kids. I'm like, well, there go my excuses as to why I couldn't go live. So let's enjoy a little bit of energetic sage. Let's get your own sage out. Hi, Holly. Hi. So I'm super excited to come on live. I don't have cards this time, so I won't be doing any cards. But I wanted to share with you and just sort of start yammering on. So tell me, Holly, since you're here, it's just the two of us right now. How are you? How are you doing? Tell me how you're doing. Courtney, I see another soul mama joining. That's kind of like proximity, close to each other. I say if you're in the same 100-mile radius of me, you live close to me, I would say. That's what I would say. Let me get a sip of water. How are you doing, Courtney? How are you doing? Say hi. So first I wanted to talk, I'm showering every day. Well, how am I staying sane? Let's just start talking. Tell me how you're staying sane. I want ideas too. I shower every day because if your spouse is home, there's no reason why you shouldn't be showering every day. That's only the excuse when your husband goes to work or whatever and you're stuck with the kids. There's no excuse not to be showering every day. On the days that I wash my hair every other day, I blow dry it and I put a little makeup on, which is why I show up live every other day so far. 2 loads of laundry. 7. My eyes are getting bad. 7 loads of laundry. That's a lot of loads of laundry. I actually was wondering, are laundromats open right now? That's not very good social distancing. And what about all those poor people that don't have washer and dryer? And oh my God, I am so grateful that I have a washer and dryer. I mean, I that's kind of a no-brainer, I think, for me. It's just one of those things. I don't clean bathrooms, although that's getting harder to enforce. With 3 boys learning to piss in the toilet. Learning. I think they should know by now. 2 of them, at least. Anyway. So, laundry helps. You know what I love about doing laundry now? I actually fold it in the same day. So I think, here's some silver lining that I'm seeing. We're all forming better habits. And maybe we can remember how good and accomplished and productive and on top of things that we started to feel like when we weren't going places. We're sitting at home and we're like, I guess I'll fold the laundry. I washed it. I mean, it's something to do. So there, okay. Oh, I forgot to grab one of my most favorite books. Hi, I'm just going to share some books and I'm just going to dive into the camera right there. Okay. So I usually take a picture and I share my book reading stack, which I will do. I post that on my Pinterest, which posts to my Facebook page. So if you want to see my book reading stacks, you got to not Pinterest. Why did I say Pinterest? Instagram. I've been on Pinterest a lot lately, crafting it up. I'm not on Pinterest. Other than using Pinterest. I don't post to Pinterest. I don't understand that. But I take advantage of Pinterest. So anywho, this is what I read. I read a ton. I read a lot. If I'm not reading, I'm looking at my phone because I guess that's reading. I mean, it's lame scrolling and reading and getting triggered and upset and crazy. Gardening. Leslie says she's gardening. We're going to start gardening. We're my husband's let's just wait a little bit longer. And I'm okay, I don't know. But what I'm doing is starting to weed out some of the areas because we're expanding our garden. I mean, why not expand a garden when you're going through panic? There's nothing more comforting than planning out a garden. So yes, I see that, Leslie. I love that. Holly says she hangs out most on Instagram. Okay, so send me a follow, people, and I'll hit you back up or whatever. I'll follow you back. So I read a lot. So before I even could post this book stack, okay. And here's something else that I did. I read a lot and I have been reading about our DNA, our different layers, the 12 layers of your DNA, because I'm teaching about DNA in my private group, the Akashic Alchemy Academy, as well as doing DNA activations, because why not teach about it? It's nice when you're doing an activation to have some science behind it so that your mind can be oh, I believe it. So I'm in the middle of that, but I kind of put it aside because I started to get real panicky a couple weeks ago, 10 days. I mean, I posted on Facebook. like I need help, I have anxiety, or like I need support, I need somebody refer me to like a teledoctor, which I got referred. Again, I always have hairs on me when I come live, probably because I just blow dry my hair. But let me get that off so I don't think it's a creepy spider. Weeding out clothes for your kids and you out of the closet. Yes, I'm all like, okay, what hand-me-downs do we have? Let's go shopping to the closet. Let's go shopping to the summer wardrobe. Pull out the gray bin. Like, I feel you, Courtney. Like, I'm right there with you. That's my shopping trip. Like, people talked about their weekend plans and showing floor plans of a house, and I was all, ooh, this was from Target. It's like I'm at Target. Ooh, this is from Ross or wherever. That's wonderful. Whatever. That's hilarious. Anywho. And so I'm also reading a lot more about matrix reimprinting, which is using EFT, which is using tapping to really go back in and heal trauma. And of course, since I'm a past life specialist, I am learning and incorporating all of that into doing a session with a client to find out something that went down in their past life and going back into that past life to fix it, to correct it, to heal from it, which actually is what presents as a lot of trauma in this lifetime, or maybe even medical disorders or issues, is things that occur in a previous lifetime and they're manifesting in that way there. And so I'm reading all of these educational books, and I put them all away because I started to get super panicky. And I said, first of all, I got to read a novel. So I wanted to share my books with you. I was reading, this is the first book I picked up. It is actually a novel. It's by Deepak Chopra. It's a fictional story about Jesus, but it's like the lost years, like the years that the Bible doesn't talk about or whatnot. Super interested in that. Loved it. I also read the Buddha book Last Christmas by Deepak Chopra. So if you guys are looking for book tips, these are novels, but they're like borderline on spiritual educational books. You know what I mean? And again, it's a novel, but it helps me understand what it was like to be Jesus and to be living and to be Mary Magdalene and to be hauling around to all these places and kind of like having to be on the down low. It gave me perspective. When I read Buddha, it gave me perspective on Buddhism because I come from Christianity. And of course, I'm experiencing all sorts of different religious studies right now. Let's go on to the next book. So this book, it's called Man's Eternal Quest. Man's Eternal Quest by this amazing person whom everybody knows this picture. Who doesn't know this picture? Of Paramahasana Yogananda. I think I actually learned how to say it. I think. Paramahasana Yogananda. I think. So he comes from like a Hindu background as I'm reading it. So I picked up this book in the town south of me. Just went there randomly and I was checking out used clothes stores and used books. I like used clothes. I like used stuff. And they had this book and it was like $1. And it's all, he wrote the autobiography of a yogi. That's his very, very popular book. But this is all about the lectures and the talks that he did at the Enlightenment Center, wherever, the Self-Realization Fellowship International Headquarters in Hollywood, California. Anybody who knows me know my name used to be Hollywood. So, this is what I'm doing. What else? Oh, I found A Course in Miracles. My mother gave me this book almost a decade ago, probably. And I put it away and put it away and put it away. And I was like, okay, I need to read A Course in Miracles. So what I'm telling you is switch it up. I think that's my main tip without yammering on about my next novel. Finished that, pulled out another novel. Who has heard of Tom Robbins? I really love Tom Robbins. He is able to get me off into, as far as a storyteller, he's a wonderful storyteller. A little outrageous sometimes. This was written in 1984, so it's like a little bit dated as far as things, but not so far that I can't understand it. So read. Stop being on your phones. I think the biggest problem that I've had in the past couple of weeks is spending too much time on my phone and being triggered by a lot of articles. And I've unfollowed the right combination, or I snooze a lot of people for 30 days. Guys, I'm not just unfollowing everybody. You have the right to post articles to inform people, and that's fine. So I'm snoozing tons of people for 30 days. Some of the ones that are really getting crazy and I can feel just their negative energy, I don't want to see that in 30 more days, and I am unfollowing them. And honestly, the thing is I've seen it as a pattern for a while, and I've tried to put up with it. So use these rights you have with social media. If you want to be on social media, really start protecting yourself. And then honestly, start doing other things. I mean, I'm reading the Parents Tao Te Ching because I'm studying the Tao Te Ching right now. The Tao Te Ching. You're supposed to pronounce it with all D's. And so I'm going to be posting some excerpts from this because I had done that. You can look at a photo album on my personal page. If you're friends with me. And you can see that I've posted excerpts from this. And I think that's really supportive. So that's another thing that if you really want to be on social media, I inspire you, hopefully, with this message to be the change you want to see. Okay. I went live a couple of days ago and I talked a little bit about some of this, but even, oh my gosh, it's sunny outside and it's raining. It's like seriously pouring. And it's super sunny. That's one of my favorite combinations, I have to tell you. Oh, I'm going to have to go look for a rainbow after this. But be the change you want to see. If you want to see more happy things, post some lighthearted stuff. I'm posting funny memes about the situation because it takes what's real and makes you laugh about it, which softens you up and opens your heart to understanding the learning experience within this time, okay? If you're always so closed off and scared and fearful, you're going to go this whole time never having learned, evolved, transformed, transmuted, never having done any of this for yourself. Okay. If you, and that's what's kind of sad, I think a lot of people, to protect themselves, they're closing off right now. And this is a time when we're being called and we're being asked to really open up. So garden, put your hands in the dirt, get your, organize your home. One of the best bits of advice that I had I'm actually in this moment, in these weeks that we're doing this, I'm taking part in two kind of trainings. One of them is not as much of a training as it is I am receiving energy work myself. And I signed up for it before everything went crazy. And I'd been working on this series, the Tao, I mentioned the Tao Te Ching, the Tao Codes of Awe. And these are they're just amazing, brilliant codes. There's like some of the most beautiful codes I've ever seen, kind of only next to my personal code that was made for me by Yvonne Delafleur, my mentor and teacher. And so one of the master trainers of codology was leading this this training on the Tao, or it's actually not a training. I like to say I take part in everything I do as a training, but it's teaching me, since she's a codologist, it's teaching me the ways to activate these codes more effectively. It's getting me the experience of going through the process. Okay, so, and believe me, it's helping. And it's so interesting that the launch of this series was like timed perfectly to be receiving this energetic support at a time when I'm panicky, when I'm fearful, when I'm really trying to be a leader. But it's hard to lead from a place of fear and panic and from being really closed off. Say hi if you're joining. I want to see, I don't have many people on, so, I get it. This is like a personal chat. I'm just like, I want to get this message out because I think more people might be able to take advantage of it on the replay. So if you're joining, say hi. I want to interact with you. I want to find out what you're doing to stay sane. So if you're coming on late, hi, Dana. I saw you pop on. I want to know what you're doing to stay sane so I can take advantage of more tips. Gardening's a big one. It's really grounding, and to be out there in Mother Earth. That's one that I'm not doing yet. I'm planting my garden and I'm weeding a little bit, so I guess that counts. I'm enjoying the outdoors with my kids. But as a leader, we can't show up in our leadership. And this is even being the leader of your own household. Like if you're not in business, that's okay. You're the leader of your household, or you're supporting the co-leader of your household. If you have a partnership, if you're married. So to be able to be that person, you have to be free from a lot of the the lower frequencies that are being emitted by social media and by the general feeling of like it's this this quote or this meme that says empaths need to remember to observe, not absorb. To observe, not absorb. Because when you observe, you can see how you can serve. You can really feel and get in there. But when you absorb, you're just going to get, your frequency is going to get lowered. Making hand soap, purging, and crocheting. Actually, I heard crocheting was on the rise. I did go to Walmart today with gloves on and like a bandana and, I bought some essentials, but then also a shitload of kids' craft stuff. Like we made slime. And that's what she said. There's a lot of people buying crochet stuff, and the checker's even like, I started crocheting in the last week. And so it's having something really good to do with your hands. I think that's where you're feeling supportive. You're feeling like you're doing something. And the first place we start doing things, is with our hands. That's our first, hey, I'm going to go do something. I'll start by picking something up, or, I'm going to go read a book. You got to pick up a book. You got to turn the pages. You're doing something. So this is all really, really good stuff. Just saged last night. Yeah, it feels really good to sage. I'm glad I have a few bundles of this and I don't need to order any because I've been going through a lot of sage. My kids love it though. They want to grab it and run through the house, and it just kind of scares me though because they're a little young to be handling the sage. But we do. We try to let them experience and learn from a moderately safe distance. So, let's see. I'm going to take a big breath. There's another training I wanted to tell everybody about because I think it's kind of important to know. Like, I'm an energy healer, and I want to be able to serve in the highest capacity possible. And so I decided, like, in the midst of realizing that my financial situation was going to kind of fall apart, I decided to invest in another training that wasn't in it. It was, it was attainable for me. Let's just put it that way. And that's wonderful. And I think a lot of people, it wouldn't be necessarily. And so it goes on top of the work I've been doing to learn about the codes of awe. It almost blends the codes of awe with the work I've been doing in the Akashic Records and the modality that I learned a couple of years ago, which is called soul realignment. And I've updated that session to be called your soul alchemy session. I almost forgot the name of my own session. It's great. So, and because I use different types of tools, different types of energetic modalities to support the person. It's not just that one way of working in somebody's Akashic Records and with their past lives. Like I'm using that matrix re-imprinting. I'm using any sort of Reiki energy. I'm using the codes of awe. So I'm using a lot of stuff, and now I've got an even more advanced level of training coming at me, and it's blowing my mind. Again, everything that I have to do to prepare for that certification, I'm doing the energy work on myself, and I'm doing the energy work on my immediate family. And oh my goodness, like what could be better at this time than taking part in educating yourself on energy work that you have to practice on yourself and your children. Like you have to. And I got nowhere else to be except for here practicing all that stuff, which is beautiful. So this is my way of saying I'm here serving myself so that I can show up when the time is right and serve you all. And currently the time is right. No, I'm just kidding. I just felt like that was sort of sliding into to home base right there. Currently, I'm hosting in my Akashic Alchemy Academy, which is my private group. It's a VIP group. I'm currently hosting about once a month a DNA activation, and I'm teaching about the different layers of your DNA. I mentioned that earlier if you watched the beginning of this live stream. But I'm also really, really, really practicing right away some of the things that I'm learning in my certification. And this is really nice because I'm like, okay, I've been doing this for a while. This isn't exactly new to me, but it's like I just got activated at a deeper level, almost a more thorough understanding of everything, whereas before I was using my intuition. Now I found a teacher, another mentor, to be able to show me and to inspire me with a way that she's been working with it for over like 15 years. So if you're interested in joining my private group, I'm going to make it more accessible and attainable. Normally it's $111. But that's like, I'm like, okay, that's wonderful. So I want to make it a little bit more accessible and attainable. I've got a couple of options. You can either do 4 payments of 2020, because we're coming up here on, and this will go the whole month of April, this promotion, 4 of 2020. 4 payments of $20.20 over the next 4 months, and you can join right away. Or you can just pay $55 and be in for the lifetime. Excuse me. This is why I haven't scheduled a activation yet, because I'm still getting over that sickness that I had about a week ago, which tells me I'm like shouting and I need to calm down. So Ashley, are you watching? Jody, did you join in? Tell me what you ladies are doing to stay sane while I catch my breath. Oh. I'm reading, I'm cleaning, I'm saging, I'm going shopping in my closets to find all the hand-me-downs, I'm planting my garden, I'm cooking a lot of meals now because I'm not on the run and on the go. My husband's always here so he can watch the kids and I can really get into that meditative place while I'm cooking. I'm actually listening to books on my Audible while I'm cooking because I used to listen, I'm just summarizing, I used to listen a lot in the car, and that's something that really was making me sad. I was like, I'm not going to be able to listen to my Audible books for a really long time if I don't drive anywhere. So since my husband's here and I don't have to hear my kids or listen to them, I listen to my Audible. So anyway, ladies, it's been so nice to connect today. Before I have another coughing fit, I'm going to kind of sign off. If you had any interest in connecting with me outside of the social media platform links that I've provided, just let me know. You can join, like I said, you can join that private group immediately for just $20.20. And then in the next 3 months after that, it's just $20.20 a month. And then that's lifetime membership. And I'm constantly adding new content. There's also a bunch of content, like 15 classes, maybe even 20. But I'm trying to like under promise and over deliver. There's over 4 units. So if you go into like a group's menu, there's a thing called units, and it's like there's like a separation. It's a way for me to organize the classes within these groups. And so there's a unit on accessing your Akashic records. There's a unit on, and that includes an Akashic activation using codes of awe as well. There's a unit on dream interpretation, helping you understand your dreams. And by the way, that's the next activation that I'm going to host. I've had a lot of people coming to me. They're having really bad dreams. They're having trouble sleeping. And so we're going to actually support that. I'm going to do a clearing and activation to help close out any negative astral travels or negative astral planes that these people might, the clients or whoever's joining me in these sessions, that might be traveling to negative astrals because they're spending so much time in this panic or worry state in the daytime that in the evenings it's like it's a translation. You go even deeper because now your subconscious is running the show, and it's not like your subconscious wants to hurt you, but there's a lot of people who are overprotecting themselves and not allowing themselves to feel the emotion, to cry, to let it sort of flow out of them. And in a dream state, experiencing that nightmare allows you to get a lot of that fear out and scream and wake up in a panic. And so, okay, there's better ways to process. That means not having daytime panic attacks and not having nighttime nightmares because you're trying to hold it all in. It's called energy work. And closing those negative astrals so you cannot travel to these negative places. So that's going to be the very next session because it's so necessary. And I don't have all my sessions planned out, you guys. Every month I pull from what is needed, and that's how I create these sessions. I've got another unit that's all about karma. Understanding this karmic wheel that we're all on, understanding how to work outside of maybe the law of cause and effect, which is karma. It's like how to really get in control of it so that you can leave the karma here and not take it into future lifetimes. I've got another unit on soul family, soulmates, soul contracts, how to discover more about your immediate family within the Akashic Records. So like this group has a ton of stuff in it. I've posted about my classes on Teachable, and a lot of that's available for separate purchase, but you get almost all of it in the group. The only thing you don't get in my group is my card reading and interpretation course, because there had to be something else that I was just doing for Teachable. That's what my guides told me. They're like, it's because the group is kind of like more advanced. Card reading is that first level of getting in touch with your intuition, and then you can start diving into understanding how to read the Akashic Records and really trusting in your clairvoyant abilities. Everybody has them. All right. I think I've told you everything about the group. Oh, weekly, I do Tarot Tuesdays. I'm trying to go live more on Tuesdays because, again, I have the support of my husband being around. But once everything gets back to a more normal atmosphere, whenever that is, a couple months, I don't know, I may not go live every Tuesday because it's just not possible. But that is the day I open up for anybody to go live, anybody in the group to go live and do oracle cards or tarot cards, whatever you want to do, or answer pendulum questions if that's what you want. I've got a class to teach you how to use pendulums. That's part of the very first unit, how to read the Akashic Records. And so you can really sharpen your skills, and you can do so in a private group that's kind of small still. There's 50 members. That's it. So it's really small. It's really nice. And it's a really great way to start connecting with your higher self and your soul and doing the energy work that you need to do. You can watch all of the previous live streams that are in there that I've done of DNA activations. You can get them all. And when you're on there and you're with me during one of those activations, it's amazing. And like I said, I think I'm going to plan the next live one, probably around like the 10th of, maybe a little bit sooner, but like the 10th of April. I want to give enough people the chance to join at the beginning of April and get in the group so that I can get as many people as possible to take advantage of this clearing and DNA activation to support. It's like I'm going to work on any negative thought forms that we've picked up. There's like negative thought forms of fear, panic, anxiety, dread, like the impending doom situation. We need to clear that. Like that needs to go away. If you're going to serve your clients, if you're an energy worker and you're going to serve your clients, we got to get rid of it. You've got to let it go, or you're going to be doing a disservice to your clients. So I feel like this is a very important message. One last time, it's a promotion that I'm offering for the month of April. You can join for $20.20, and it's total of 4 payments, like 4 of 2020. It's like easy. Or if you don't want to deal with monthly payments, which I hate, and I understand, like it's hard to remember that. Or if you didn't want to do that, you can just pay one time $55. So I've offered that at an extremely affordable way of doing it, just one time. Saves me the trouble of getting you set up on my PayPal for monthly payments. So let me know if I can serve you in this way. I hope you're finding a way to stay sane and have a blessed, blessed night. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on. Thank you for checking out my other ways to connect with me on social media. And also, thank you for joining my group. I love teaching, and that's the way I get to do it.